I think Trump is trying to placate Israel so that it doesn't turn into a full-scale war. They're trying to placate Israel by bombing a nuclear facility, very visibly in front of the entire world. We blew up the nuclear. Even Trump made a statement like that we blew it up, so now I'm chill. You know what I mean? Yeah, the cops come and they do something foul to you. And it's like, well, what gives you the right to do this to me? The thing that gives them a right is that they have superior strength. And that's the structure of American society. Might makes right. I don't think logically any human being will want to live in a place where random violence is common.
On the night of June 21st into the early hours of June 22nd, 2025, the United States launched a powerful strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. It was called Operation Midnight Hammer, and almost immediately, major U.S. cities like New York, D.C., and Los Angeles went on high alert. Extra patrols, federal warnings, and growing fear of retaliation. Now, for millions of Americans, this is just another chapter in a long story of uncertainty. But for some, like Malcolm, a U.S. citizen now living abroad, this kind of instability and fear was one of the reasons he left America in the first place. In this exclusive interview, Malcolm shares why he turned his back on life in the United States. And as tensions escalate globally, his words might just hit differently.
The U.S. is like going back to the police, how do they call it? Police brutality. Yeah, the cops come and they do something foul to you. And it's like, well, what gives you the right to do this to me? The thing that gives them a right is that they have superior strength. And that's the structure of American society. Might makes right.
Okay.
Yeah, whether you're dealing with your siblings, your wife, your parents dealing with a child, your peers. If there's a conflict, especially in like African American culture, the most violent party wins.
Really?
Yes. Whether the person is
right or wrong.
Whether the person is right or wrong, basically. Yeah.
Wow. That's
like the I don't know. That's like the ideology. I don't know the right word to put it, but that's like the standard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So have you ever you're leaving the United States?
Yes.
Does it have anything? I know there's like multiple reasons why you left.
Yeah.
But is one of these reasons connected to feeling unsafe in the United States? Like, being afraid that you might be attacked,
Yeah, but no. It was more, feeling unsafe in the sense that anything can happen, like 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah, like, but it wasn't so much in the street sense of not feeling safe, but more like, the street sense played a part in that I don't think logically any human being will want to live in a place where random violence is common. Yeah,
okay.
But no, it was more of a macrocosmic kind of violence I was concerned about. How do they call it? Karma.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you feel safer here in Ghana than you did back in the United States?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. For instance, there's a minimal chance of Ghana getting sucked into like a conflict between Israel and Iran.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And talking about, you just mentioned Iran, which I find fascinating because just a few hours ago, Trump launched an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities.
Yes.
What do you think about the United States getting involved?
I think Trump is trying to placate Israel so that it doesn't turn into a full-scale war. They're trying to placate Israel by bombing a nuclear facility, very visibly in front of the entire world. We blew up the nuclear. Even Trump made a statement like that we blew it up, so now I'm chill. You know what I mean?
But do you think so? Is the best action to take? Because I know when Trump was campaigning to be elected, he was like, America first. We are not going to.
Yeah, that was a facade.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think especially I don't know if how many people got killed or whatever, but yeah, I think it was a shrewd move on the part of Trump to do something like that. Yeah, to try to, because to my understanding, he didn't bomb any place like civilian.
Yeah, just the nuclear
Yes.
facilities.
And the U.S. If I'm not mistaken, the U.S. actually helped Iran establish its nuclear program back in the late 1960s, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
And then it's like who knows what these people are doing behind the scenes.
okay. So in your personal opinion, you really think that the United States should not have gotten involved in the Iran-Israel conflict?
No, I'm not saying they shouldn't have got involved, but I think I agree with Trump's move to some extent.
Really?
Yeah.
So you support him, launching attacks on Iran?
The one that he did last night, the nuclear facility. I understand why he would do something like that. That's what I'm saying.
You understand why? So that Iran does not
so that Israel would be like, oh, the United States actually did something, so now let's relax more.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what he's trying to do. He's going after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You walked away from America. Why? Why did you leave America?
There's a multitude of reasons. One of them being that at the time I was really interested in learning African culture on a practical level. Another primary reason, is that I never felt particularly optimistic about the United States' future. So I wanted to test my faith, so to speak.
You were not optimistic about the future of the United States.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that? Shed more light on that?
Yeah. The way people behave there, they don't seem to have a respect for natural law. Let me say it like that. And at that time too, that was right after 9/11 and a bunch of other things. And it's a load of at the time. It's like I just got finished going to let's say a white university.
Okay.
Yeah, and there when you're studying under the white people, they really let you know the history. So the history of the place was such that eventually there has to be some type of balancing or retribution. The United States at its foundation and how how it's maintained, how it achieved to maintain global dominance and stuff like that.
And this was something you didn't know prior to, enrolling.
No, when you let's say like when you're growing up in a Black or African American environment, everything is more like it's a difference between hearing from a third party and hearing from the horse's mouth.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I heard things from the horse's mouth, their methodology of scholarship is different. Oh. Yeah, and I was made aware of so many things that like blew my mind. So I needed to force a personal change, so to speak.
And what about the history? What about the history kind of made you dislike or not want to live in the United States? What exactly? The American history is full of a lot of states.
Yes.
You got a civil war, slavery, the fight for independence and all that. So what part of the history made you unenthusiastic about, living in the United States? What exactly?
The fact that American dominance is based largely in conquest, military conquest, and also, let's say, psychological conquest. And when it comes to achieving those ends, it's not about practicing inhibition or respect for. It's very complex. It's very, very complex, Rolanda.